Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 22nd. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we will get started shortly with our analysis for today. So just keep in mind, guys, that today is Fed Day. So expect some unusual price moves, but we're going to let that affect us too much with determining our entries today. More things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, perfect. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. It's good. I'll give a few moments for people to make their way in. See if there are any entries pre-market. So one right there. It's like volatility is really low right now. I think that's it pre-market. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in, and then we will get started with our analysis shortly. Morning, Christian. Morning, Jacob. Morning, Active. Morning, guys. So people are still joining right now, so I'll just give it a few more minutes for people to hop in, and then we'll get started. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? Morning. So I just marked up a couple of the pre-market entries. I'm still not comfortable taking these pre-market entries. Sometimes the days are good, sometimes they're not. Like for today, it was good. Both entries were full TPs. I think on Monday, someone sent some trades in. They're like two good trades, one loss. I don't think it's worth the risk, honestly. Our testing's from 6:30 to 9, so I'm just going to stick to 6:30 and 9. There's another entry right here. Looks like it already hit TP or it's about to. Mark it up there. I'm not in these positions, guys. I'm just marking them up. There's a higher high right there. Sell signal breaking, closing past the pivots right here. Don't let this follow through. Let me mute everybody, guys. Sorry. All right. Thanks, Jacob, for the heads up. Hey, T, how's it going? Morning. Nice. Kevin said he's at 5K pre-market. Yeah, no, market looks like it's moving smooth pre-market. So if you guys made some profit right then, it's solid. All right, guys. So it looks like about half of you guys are here so far. So good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 22nd. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. I'm gonna check the news real quick, see if there's anything here for us to look out for. I believe there was no pre-market news, but there is news at 7:30. There's news at 7:30. I'll mark that up over here. And today is Fed Day, guys. So just an FYI, be aware that today is Fed Day. Expect some unusual price movements to happen throughout the day. Volatility might be low until it gets to like Fed news around 11 today. Hopefully it'll be fast enough for us to get some entries, but for the most part, I wouldn't be surprised if like the market's just pretty much flat. Until then. So for today, I'll stay on, or I'll try to stay on till 9. I'll see how the market looks like around 8 o'clock. But I think for the most part, if it doesn't get too crazy, then I can probably stay on till 9 today to see if there's any other entries. We're going to slowly make adjustments to extend our trading session till 9. But we'll just play by ear and see how it goes. So I didn't post up the updated list, guys. I'll just post up the updated list of the back tests on Fridays, because I don't want to keep flooding the group with like messages every day. But I just added the trades from yesterday. Yesterday there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 7 wins and 1 loss. So now for the total entries, applying my strategy, it's 97 wins, 14 losses, total win rate of 87.3%. Win rate, profits 5,300 pips, trading from 6:30 to 9. Win rate for that is 57 wins and only 4 losses. Win rate was it was 57 wins, 4 losses. Win-loss ratio is at a total win rate of 93.4%, total profit of 4,200. I added on to Vince's strategy too, and his is pretty much lining up with mine. It looks like long-term, the strategies end up lining up together. Obviously, Vince's strategy wasn't so great in the beginning, but it's now starting to line up. So not horrible, but we'll I'll keep updating the stats and then I'll see how this plays out. But I mean, it looks pretty good. I think 6:30 to 9 is probably going to be the sweet spot. There's only 1 loss yesterday at 11:39, not one we take because it's after 9. So yesterday would have been a day of straight full wins. So we'll see where this day takes us. So, all right, guys. Morning, Maria. Morning, Martha. Morning, guys. Market's opening in about 3 minutes. This one's still running. Volatility is very low. Not in this position. I'm just marking up the pre-market trades here. But market is going to open in about 3 minutes. So there's news over here from CNBC. It mentioned, here's everything the Federal Reserve is expected to do on Wednesday, which is today. Markets expect a quarter-point rate increase from the Federal Reserves, taking the benchmark funds rate to a range of 4.75 to 5%. This was already anticipated. We already knew this was going to happen, right? And then right here down and below, it says Fed Chair Powell is going to have a post-meeting conference that'll attract much attention, with traders hoping for comments of how the central bank will maintain financial stability, which is an obvious thing. Everything here is pretty much obvious. We knew the rates were going up. We knew they were going to try to save the banks. And there's nothing different here. So the problem with this here, guys, that you guys need to keep in mind is that since everybody's thinking about the same thing, you need to be careful about taking any type of entry, because like market can be easily manipulated. If we know price is supposed to go down, where's price likely to go up, right? It's probably going to be manipulated to the upside. So just keep that in mind. We're all thinking price needs to come down. It might go up for a little bit for manipulation, but eventually it might come down. So it's just going to be a matter of patience and identifying, what's important, what's not. So, all right, guys, market is opening. TP just hit on this last one, guys. So pretty much all the pre-market entries right here for my high-low momentum scalp all hit full TP. So pretty solid right there. I'm just going to clean this up. This market is opening shortly. But as you guys can see right here, pretty much all the pre-market entries went straight to full TP. This one right here at about 4:30, this one over here about 5:30, and this one right now at about 6:30. So, all right, guys, market is opening in 20 seconds. So I'll just clean this up right here as we anticipate market open. All right, guys, let's see where this goes. All right, the market is now open. A markup opening price. I know we don't really care too much about this stuff anymore, because for this specific strategy, we're disregarding pretty much everything, but I'll just keep them up so that we have an idea. Not that it really matters to us, but it's good to know, just in case if you guys don't feel so great about taking an entry. Hey, Kenny, morning. Morning, Johnny. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, market is now open. So we got this bullish push right here. This is exactly what I was mentioning. This is what I was mentioning earlier this morning, right before the market opened. I mentioned that, we're expecting a bearish drop for the day. So this is that upwards manipulation. And we'll see where this ends up taking us. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Morning. Pat said, looks like the pre-market entries are really smooth wins with very little drawdown. They feel really safe. Just take 5 or 4 or 6 minutes to hit. Yeah, exactly, Pat. Today they look good, but on Monday they didn't look so great. So on Monday, some people showed some people mentioned like the pre-market moves. I think there were 2 wins and 1 loss. It'd be like in a slight negative start of the day if you traded on Monday. But today they were really smooth. So, I haven't back tested and I haven't included them in my back test for pre-market moves. So it's not really one that I'm personally aware with, but yeah, at least we have an idea, right? So maybe some days will be good, some days won't. But I think we'd have to include that in the back test to really know how accurate it is. All right, guys, so the market is now open. We're just waiting for something to set up here for us. There's nothing going on right now. Price is just going back and forth pretty heavily. These candles have huge wicks on both ends. If you guys are looking to take the breakout, it looks like the breakout 1.0 is right here. That's kind of iffy, actually. I don't know if I'd take that one, but if you were looking for like breakout, this might have been the entry right there. You're dropping in profit. We're looking for a strong red candle. I know there's a wick on the bottom, but it's not a huge wick compared to the top. I'm not in this position. I was just marking up for you guys. Let's close this right now. Yeah, Maria mentioned tweezer top too. It's a reversal pattern right there. Double top. So just want to give you guys a heads up if you guys are looking for the breakout. Not one that I'm looking for. I'm only looking to apply this strategy right here. Guys, if you guys are still applying the momentum scalp variation and momentum scalp, those strategies still work perfectly fine. It's just that now that we're testing this new strategy, we'll stick with this because the momentum scalp and momentum scalp variation haven't been giving us very many entries for the past couple weeks. Like that's good to be applied during a heavy trending market. Market isn't really trending too heavy right now, so not really looking to apply those. Anyways, let's take a look at all the timeframes real quick and see what everything's looking like. So as you guys can see here on the higher timeframes, everything's pretty much bullish. 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 2 hours or 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, and 30 minutes bullish. However, the lower timeframes here are starting to shift to the downside. So they were bullish pre-market, and now they're starting to drop very heavily. A lot of this is going to be some pre-FOMC Fed day news because everyone is expecting the market to be bearish, right? So this is not a surprise. We knew this was going to be bearish because we already had news that said, here's everything that the Federal Reserve is expected to do on Wednesday. If you guys are not aware, today is Fed day. So for the news later today, we have the FOMC economic projections. This is going to dictate what the economy is looking like in the US and worldwide. We have the FOMC statement. They're going to be discussing, their next plans for the next month with regard to basically trying to survive this recession. So we have that right there. The federal funds rate, this is supposed to go up from 4.75 to 5%. It's not a good thing. Interest rates go up. It's not going to be good. And then the press conference after, where they're going to be discussing, whatever they can to save, to give us, to basically bring up morale, because we're going to recession. Recession is never a good thing because people are going to be laid off. Things are going to become more expensive. Inflation goes up. So it's never a good thing for the economy. So that's why you're seeing this drop right here. I mentioned on open that because of the news here, pre-market or just CNBC's news, that price was going to be manipulated to the upside, which it was. Market opened right here at 630. Price spiked up a little bit, and then it corrected right back down to where it's supposed to go. Because there's no reason for price to go up during a recession. Market's not doing great. The only time it would go up is if price is being manipulated and if there's some small news event that's really pushing price up. However, since we're scalping, we can still take buys even though the market's not supposed to go up. As long as it's there's a strategy behind the move. So we'll see where this goes. Let's see. Wesley mentioned, hey, Sean, the entry at 622, is it valid as a candle at 620 already passed the pivots? Let me check, Wesley. 620. Actually, you're right. So this actually wasn't an entry. Thanks, Wesley, for confirming that. I didn't realize that this candle here broke and closed past it already. So yeah, Wesley, you're right. This right here was not an entry because this red candle right here broke and closed past the pivots already. I was looking at this one prior to it, so I didn't really notice that this one actually broke below it, but you're right, Wesley, it did not meet criteria. Yeah, no, and thanks for bringing that up because that people would get confused if that was the case. Let's see, D, can I get a meeting code for Brian? There's no meeting code, D. He just has to use the link. So if you could send him the link that you have, and he can hop in. So there's no meeting code for the room. It's like a direct link when he uses it. Or here, let me see. D, if you can message me on Telegram, I can send you a link with all I see. Okay, I'm going to send you a different. There you go. There's no meeting code, but if you use this right here, you can just use a direct line to get in. Yeah, no problem, Daniel. All right, so Eunice over here, pre-market profits, total profit of 263 for the day. Nice work, Eunice. So solid profits right there, pre-market. And yeah, that's about it for right now. So that's it for the pre-market profits. There's nothing else for us to take at the moment. We're just basically waiting for, so we have a lower low right here. We're looking for a buy signal to break and close past pivots 1 and 2. Basically the green and blue pivot. If we get a momentum signal that breaks and closes above that, that will technically be a high level momentum scalp entry. A little risky because it's going against the trend. Obviously, a short-term trend here is bearish, but it still meets criteria if that does happen. So, I mean, right now it's just a waiting game, guys. Pretty much just being patient and waiting for something here to play out. It's just a game of patience right now. Just, make sure if you guys are taking any entries that you guys are following some sort of strategy. It doesn't have to be my strategy, but make sure that you're just you're actually analyzing the market and you're understanding, where your entries have to be made. Because right now it's easy for someone to just enter a sell because they think price is dropping, and you can see how price is retracing right here. It's easy to get stopped out because price just retraced up from this low, about like 300 pips. So don't just chase moves. If you think price is coming down for whatever reason, don't just enter it just because. Make sure you enter it with some sort of strategy behind your thought process. Because this is going to be an easy day for a lot of people to get screwed over because the market is not going to be moving very smoothly since it's Fed day. I think today's the heaviest news day of the week. See you tomorrow. There's unemployment claims tomorrow, but it's not as bad as Fed day today. And then on Friday, we have inflation news, flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, core durable goods, durable good orders. Yeah, so we have some inflation news on Friday, and then we have some unemployment claims on Thursday, but today's like the big day because you're going to be releasing the Fed's fund rate. So see where that ends up, going. But all right, price is pushing up right here. So with price pushing up at the moment, we'll see if this ends up, if this ends up pushing through. There's a lower high right here. So if this is the case where there's a lower high, it's going to invalidate this lower low. You can't have any high lows in between the lower low or the higher high, which is completely fine because I'm not really looking to take a buy here anyways. I personally would rather take a sell. But all right, so we got the lower low right, or lower high there. That invalidates this lower low. There's no longer step one. So if you look down the notes over here, it says no high lows in between higher high or lower low. So we got a lower low here and a low high here. So there is no setup there, which is completely fine. So, all right, guys, just got to wait. 6:40 right now. Still early. As I mentioned, guys, I'm going to try to push till 9 today. I mean, we'll see how we feel by 8 o'clock. I just don't know how the market's going to move. The market's moving too crazy, then obviously it's not going to be the best time for us to extend our trading time. But again, if you guys are just here, I just mentioned earlier this morning as well, I didn't get to post this. I'm just going to post the results at the end of the week, guys, so I don't have to flood the chat with my back testing results. So for the month of March, I added yesterday's trades. For yesterday, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins and 1 loss. So for the total trades using my strategy for the month of March, from March 1st up until today, March 22nd, total wins of 97, total losses 14. Win-loss ratio is a win percentage of 87.3%. Total profit is 5,300 pips. For trades between 6:30 and 9, it's total win of 57 wins, total losses of 4. Win-loss ratio is 93.4%. Total profit is 4,200. So a 93.4% win rate if you traded this strategy between 6:30 and 9. So that's why I'm sticking between 6:30 and 9, because that is yielding the highest win rate and win-loss ratio. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be using to identify my entries. I'm using just that one strategy. You guys can use Vince's strategy as well, but for me personally, I'm probably going to stick to mine. Vince's strategy will probably be secondary if I miss my entry or if I don't see anything until later. Let's see, Glenn said maybe I'll use a lower lot size since it's Fed day. Yeah, you can, Glenn. If you don't feel comfortable with the entries, always feel free to lower your lot size, guys. Just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to lower your lot size. It's better to have minimal risk versus high risk on a risky day, especially a day like this, because I mean, there's nothing going on right now, but when the news starts coming out, price will start to spike up or spike down. Obviously, price is likely to come down throughout the day, but there's no guarantee that's going to hold. So just keep that in mind, guys, as you guys carry along with today's live session. So again, guys, if you guys are new here and you guys are not familiar with the strategy and you guys want to learn the strategy, I went into a 2-hour mentoring session on Monday. So if you guys want to learn the strategy, just go to our website or our YouTube, actually go to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/KodiKaiTrades, go to this live tab right here, and then go to this most recent green one where it says mentoring session for March 20th. You can see this mentoring session went on for over 2 hours. I explained the strategy in detail with examples and also Vince's application of the strategy as well. So if you guys want to learn that, feel free. If you guys want to learn any of the other strategies here, so there's like one entry here. I'll just show you guys one entry for the high-low scalp. I know a lot of you guys here like that strategy. This is one of the older strategies that I taught about like 3 or 4 years ago. There's a high-low scalp right here. What I noticed over the past couple days of testing is, the lower lows are probably more relevant compared to the high lows. There's so many high lows in between, but if you use a lower low or a higher high, it usually has a pretty big pretty big influence into like where price goes. So like, for example, here there's a lower low. Price broke and closed below the structure. So there's a sell signal here. Price broke and closed below the structure. That was a high-low entry for a normal high-low scalp. And obviously you guys can see right here, full TP. So if you guys want to learn this strategy, just go to our website, KodiKaiTrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here. This is the course. And if you scroll down to my scalp strategies, you guys will see it down below. Scalp strategies, high-low scalp strategy. So just an FYI, guys, if you guys are looking, because I know a lot of you guys here are new. All this stuff's completely free. I don't really charge for anything here unless you guys want access to the actual indicators, because it does cost me to have coders come and update the indicators and keep everything up to date. So, just upkeep for the tools here is what necessarily needs to be paid for. But if you guys want to sit on the live sessions, YouTube's completely free. All my videos are on there. I've been trading live for 5 or 7 years now. So you guys want to check my credibility, more than welcome. All right, so still no entries here, guys. I'm looking for something to come up. And I'm just waiting for that entry, but I'm being patient. So the reason why I'm being patient here, guys, is because the data speaks for itself, right? The data over here showed that we didn't have our first entry until like 6:36. Sorry, 6:45. The next entry didn't come up. Sorry, the times here are kind of screwed up. I need to I think this is 6:56. Yeah. So the next entry came up at 6:56. That was a win. There's another entry at 7:39. So these entries are kind of spread out like about 30 minutes each. So that's why I'm kind of not really too rushed right now to look for any entries. I'm just waiting for something here to come up, because as long as you're patient, the good entries are going to come up eventually. All right, so this right here is not an entry, guys. For one, there's no lower low here, and for two, there's a there's high lows in between. So this right here is not an entry for a buy. Just want to give you guys a heads up so that you guys aren't looking to take anything here just yet. If you guys have a different strategy that you're applying, feel free, you guys can apply whatever you like, but I'm just telling you that there's no entry here for a momentum scalp, a high-low momentum scalp, actually. I mean, realistically right here, we just need a buy signal. I think we need a buy signal so that we can start looking for sells again. I need price to at least push up a little bit. So I'm basically waiting for price to push up a little bit, provide a higher high, and then provide a sell signal after. Once we have those criteria lined up, we can take an entry for a sell. Right now, we just don't have it yet. So, all right, it's a matter of time. Let me check what time was our entry from yesterday. So the entry that we took yesterday was at 7:41. This one right here for a buy, I think we have that in the data. Yeah, right here, 7:39. So this is the only entry we took yesterday. One question from Jacob that he mentioned to me was whether I incorporated news into any of these back tests. So I didn't incorporate news at all. So for me here, I have the news events lined up, but I'm not necessarily going to be banking off the news, right? Like the news is going to be there, but I'm not necessarily going to skip trades just because price gets near news or because price gets any near these red flags, because we back tested the strategy and it works whether it's near it or far from it. So we're not really going to take that into deep consideration. We're going to think about it and we're going to keep it in mind, but we're not going to consider it too heavily. All right, still nothing here. I mean, price isn't really doing much, guys. I'll go here to a clean chart. I'm going to mark up opening price so that you guys can see movement of price here. All right, market open right there at 6:30. I'll mark up 8 o'clock and I'll mark up 9 o'clock as well, just so that you guys have an idea of how price is currently moving. I'm going to mark up opening price, which is right here. And as you guys can see, price had a big drop on open, but now there's not really much movement. Price is literally just going sideways from where it's currently at. This is a clean chart with no indicators or anything like that. Obviously, you guys can see here. There's not really much going on here. It's just a sideways movement. Price is starting to correct up a little bit. There's no lower low here, but we are getting the buy signal. So price is pushing up. So one thing that we are getting, I'm hoping we get this buy signal that closes and it provides a higher high right here. So if this is the case, we can catch it as it comes right back down. All right, so I want that to close and I also want the buy signal to close. There's no entry here for a buy because there's no lower low here. All right, we got 20 seconds left on this candle. Just hoping that this here closes with the buy signal. We really need that buy signal. That's pretty much all we need because it's going to invalidate this direction. It's just going to swing it back down. So I need that buy signal there to close. Hoping we get that sometime soon. Here's some profits from Kenny. Kenny's up 1,510 for the day. Looks like he took a couple buys right here on its way back up. Took that sell earlier right here as well at 636. So great work right there, Kenny. Yeah, Kenny's profits 1,500, 1,500. Yeah, solid work, Kenny. All right, that buy signal didn't close on the last candle. Here's the second attempt. Let's see if this here closes at the buy signal. All right, just waiting, guys, being patient here. 650 right now. There goes a buy signal, huge push to the upside. That's crazy. The market's starting to pick up a bit right now. The volatility is starting to pick up very heavily. You guys can see that price spiked up right there. There was a pending buy signal. It didn't end up closing, but we do need that buy signal in order for us to set up. Yeah, Johnny said, looks like Vince's strategy might come up if it passes the gold bar. Yeah, so it would have came up if we had the buy signal right there. There was no buy signal, so unfortunately it didn't hit the criteria, and now it just invalidates both strategies. So we had, or actually, so with this right here, Johnny, there was actually no lower low as well. So this wouldn't be the entry, because you need a lower low, and then you need price to still break and close above it with a buy signal. So if there was a lower low right here, then yeah, that would be an entry for Vince's strategy. But since there was no lower low, there's no entry there. All right, we got the higher high right here. We have a pending buy signal here. This is irrelevant. This doesn't matter to us at all. Kenny said for his 2 losses, his MT4 froze up, saying the market was busy. Yeah, the volatility is probably crazy at that time. Kenny probably wasn't able to execute your trades. So here's one thing, guys. I've never had a setup like this. So if we get a sell signal right here, I don't know if I will take this entry, because I've never had a setup where, or not one that I've like personally saw myself, where there's a higher high and then there's a buy signal and then a possible sell signal after it. So this technically would be an entry if there was no buy signal in between. I mean, technically it's still an entry fitting the criteria, but I've never seen a setup like this where, you know, you kind of get manipulation where price pushes up, gives you an invalid buy signal and then possible sell signal right here. So this right here will technically fit criteria. I don't know if I would personally take it yet, because I've just never seen this setup before where there's another momentum signal in between. So if this here closes with the sell signal, it's going to break and close past the pivots. And it's technically going to be an entry for a high level momentum scalp. We identified a higher high right here. We're looking for the valid momentum signal for a sell signal here, and we're confirming price break and close past the pivot. So this right here will technically be an entry. I'm just not really sure if I want to, actually the range here is not too bad. So I'll probably take it if it closes. I thought the candles were like super huge. So we got 20 seconds left on this candle right here. So if this here closes below the pivots and there's a red sell signal there, this will technically be an entry for a high level momentum scalp. I don't think it'll close though. This candle right here looks a bit too, I mean, we'll see. You gotta wait for it to actually close, guys. Don't just hop in just because. You gotta wait for the actual momentum signal to close. So let's see. Make some adjustments here. The alert right there. Got the alert set up right there. You see, you're gonna watch it on my end. Yeah, Kevin said price action plays out all the time for a sell. And there's a double body up there too for the top. Yeah, Maria mentioned that there's a double body to V1 variation up there. But like I mentioned earlier, guys, this is a setup that I've never seen before, because there is a buy signal in between. So for this right here, I don't know, I just never seen this type of position here with this kind of setup. So I'm not sure how this will play out, because I've never seen this setup where there's a momentum in between momentum. There was just some manipulation here pushing price around. So you know, we couldn't really tell if this is actually like an actual valid entry or not. Looks like it's pushing through. Let's see, question from Eunice. Eunice is asking if there's a high low in between. I don't believe so, because there's a higher high right here and there's a sell signal right there. The only thing that is in between these two is that there's a buy signal in between, which I haven't seen before. but there's no high low in between because the momentum came up right before it right here. There's a high low right here below it, but it's not in between it. Yeah, a lot of unusual price movement right here. This price pushes through. See as it comes lower. Let's see. And this thing is like really not really moving too much. It's trying to go down, but then it's not really. This is like one of the longer. Typically, this would hit like by now, but it's really having trouble getting below. So I'm trying to look at it to see if there's any hints here of anything else happening. But yeah, so I'm looking at this to identify whether this is something that we should avoid. Like if there's a buy signal in between, like if it needs to be, because like for my examples and pretty much for my back test and the mentoring session that we had, I mentioned that I needed we needed to have a straight shot, right? Like basically a higher high and then price shooting below with the sell signal right after. But this right here has a buy signal in between. The sell, like I've never seen this where it came up like this. I've seen it before in the past, but not specific for this strategy. So just yeah, Eunice said he's not taking it. DeJohn didn't realize I entered when the candle was in profit. Let's see. Yeah, Jacob said he wasn't going to take it because it was too close to support. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like majority of people didn't take the trade, which is fine. This is just a setup that we haven't seen before, so we don't have a past experience where this is something that should have been avoided or something that should have been held on to. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity right there to pull out with profit. So it seems like a lot of you guys here pulled out with like at least some profit. I mean, we'll just follow and see where it goes for the most part. Let's see. But there's no movement right now. You can see how the market's kind of just going sideways. You guys can see over here from the clean chart. Let's clean this up a little bit. There's not really too much going on today. As I mentioned earlier, guys, so this is kind of expected because today is Fed day. So we were expecting price to kind of like, move back and forth a lot today. Jacob said, depending on where you got in, you'd take TP. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you too, Jake, because it looks like price, I mean, it looks like it should have gotten close to TP. But I mean, there's a lot of opportunity down below to like pretty much exit for a profit when price was just sitting down there. But, as I was mentioning, I mentioned before this entry that I didn't think I was going to take it because of the, this, I don't know what to call it. This little thing right here that kind of threw us off a bit. So we're just following, guys, and we're looking at where it's going. Let's see, Jacob said it gapped a bit. So if you entered on candle open after momentum and follow the wick to the downside, you'd have taken TP already. Yeah, no, I saw that too, Jacob. It kind of like when the candle closed and we were waiting for it to close with the sell signal, it did kind of gap down a little bit, or it gapped up actually. So you actually would have gotten better entry if you caught it after, like if you waited for the candle to actually close. All right, we're just waiting for this here to play out. There's no other entries in between. The price is just going back and forth as we watch it. So we'll use this as an example if we're going to, and we'll use this for an example because now that we've seen this type of setup where there's momentum in between, if this is a case, then, in the future, we're just going to skip it. It has to be a straight shot, higher high with a sell signal. There can't be a buy signal in between. So it's good to know if that's a criteria that we need to add into our requirements, because I haven't really looked at it. Let's see, Dan said I accidentally took it on NASDAQ was in drawdown, but managed to get out with a slight profit. Man, I panicked. Yeah, then you gotta be careful with that. That's happened with me as well. That's why I have just one asset up on my chart. Because if you guys have multiple assets up, like if you have NASDAQ or S&P, or I mean anything else really, it's really easy to get into the wrong asset if you end up just hitting buy or sell and not looking to make sure that you're in US30, right? So there's no other entries in between. I'm still looking for another entry here, or maybe even another setup for a possible continuation to the downside. I mean, obviously price is just going back and forth. There's not really too much going on here. Volatility is extremely low right now for morning session. Like typically, let me just measure this here. Okay, so market opened right here at 6:30. Technically, the movement right now has only been 200 pips, which is extremely low. I mean, market's been open for like 30 minutes, so it should be moving at least like, 500 to 1,000 pips. Right now, it's only moved, well, the entire movement for the past, since market open was 600 pips. But right now, it's like barely at like 300. So here we go, as price comes back down. This is probably like one of the longest holds I've seen for this strategy. Typically, this strategy hits within the first minute or two, but this is one of the longest times I've seen this kind of go back and forth. All right, so price is coming right back down. It's looking all right now. So if you guys are still holding on to the position, if you guys did get in, I'd recommend pulling out with profit if you guys can, because I don't know where price is going, obviously. So for future reference, we're probably going to skip anything that happens like this, guys. Now that we have an example here, this is probably going to be an entry to skip if you have a buy signal in between. It has to be a straight sell signal after the higher high. And this is what testing provides, right? This is why it's important that we forward test and we also back test, because during the back test, I went through the entire month of March, didn't see anything like this. And here we are 22 days into the month, and this type of setup did come up. So, right. Add that to the criteria. I'm gonna need to add it here somewhere. So I'll put no other momentum signals. All right, so there we go. We got that right there. Yeah, Jacob said, I'll say if you're looking for tops and bottoms, in this case, a top take the market to the downside. You don't want to have bullish momentum before entering a short. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Jacob, 100%. Yeah, because that's basically what we're doing with these entries here. We're identifying tops and bottoms, but right now there's not really much movement going on in the market. It's very slow, surprisingly for a Fed day. Like you'd expect the market to be pretty volatile today because a lot of people are basically gambling. Trying to figure out where the market's going to go. But I mean, for the most part, the Fed is going to be releasing bad news. That's a given, right? Interest rates are going to go up. They're going to talk about the I forgot the bank, whatever bank, the Silicon Valley Bank, SVB Bank, and the other banks that are possibly going to collapse, right? So basically all the news that they're going to be discussing today is going to be negative. So in turn, price should be going down, but right now it's not really going down or up. It's just going sideways. You can see it better over here from the clean chart. From the clean chart, price is just going back and forth. There's no clear direction right now. It's just a sideways movement from where it's currently at. Price dropped on open, swung right back up, and then dropped right back down. And then here it's just going back and forth again. There's not really much. Price is literally just going sideways at the moment. So this setup here pretty much gave us the criteria to just avoid, anything in between. It's got to be a clear shot. So that's how I'm going to just identify it in the future. It has to be a clear shot. It's be a higher high to a sell momentum or a lower low to a bullish momentum. It can't have anything in between. Even if it's invalid, it can't have anything in between. It's just something to avoid or to skip in general. And this is the longest range I've seen during like early session in a long time. It's 7 o'clock. Market should be very volatile right now. Seems like people are just sitting out. So if the market continues to move like this, then I'm probably not going to stay on until 9 because it's just not worth the risk. If price just continues going sideways, it's been about 10 minutes now. Price is still going sideways. There we go. As price starts to finally make its way back down. Let's see if it actually comes down or if it just stays down the middle. It looks like this middle area right here is basically where it's sitting, like where the bodies are. Right? It looks like it was looking to lure some more buyers in, but it didn't really have the opportunity. Let me check retail sentiment to see where everyone's trading right now. So looking over here at retail sentiment, it looks like traders are currently, they're right down the middle. There's no bias right now with regard to sentiment. So half the retail traders, 49% are currently buying, 51% of retail traders are currently selling. So that's why there's not really much of a direction right now. There's not really people on either side. They're kind of just going back there, right down the middle. So yeah, with that said, there's not too much going on. Let me go here and check the indices real quick. So looking over here at all of the indices, everything's pretty much bearish, but it's not super bearish. The Dow is currently down 11 points. S&P is down 1 point. NASDAQ's down 10 points. Russell 2000 is down 10 points. And the VIX is currently down 3.5%. So it's not really, I don't really see too much here going on. So let's go back over here. Price pushed up a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to clean this up, guys. I didn't end up taking the position because I mentioned, this setup right here. I just wanted to see how it played out. So this here didn't play out. So I'm just going to use this as criteria for the strategy here. So looking at this here, this is now going to be one of the criterias for this specific strategy. It has to be a one-shot go. So like, for example, if we have a higher high right here, let me just show you the example of what I'm just referring to. So this is the entry that we just looked at. The reason why I wasn't so sure about this entry, I mentioned it before, this even came up, was because there was a higher high here and there was a buy signal in between. We never had this before from our testing. We typically have a higher high and it's straight into a sell signal. So now that we have this right here, we now know that in the future, okay, if this ever happens, just don't take the trade, because this is usually going to cause a lot of uncertainty as to where price is going to go. So that's another criteria that I just added right here. No other momentum signals in between high low, or I'll put high high and entry candle. And here we go. This is going to be another entry here if there's a sell signal that closes. So if this here closes with the sell signal, this is going to be an actual entry. The market looks like volatility is starting to pick up a little bit. There is no sell signal there. And it doesn't look like we're going to have any entries anymore because there's now a lower low right here. So it looks like, there's not much volatility, but you're starting to get like more of a spike in price. You guys can see this entire area right here is not a good area to trade in. There's huge wicks on both ends. A lot of uncertainty is with direction of price. It's just a lot of back and forth movement here. Kenny said, hey, Sean, have you heard of any of the regular banks getting for bankruptcy? They're just going to be regional banks, Kenny, not necessarily any of the big banks. So I don't know what you mean by regular banks, but like Wells Fargo, Chase, like those big banks are probably not going to get hit. Smaller banks are though. So if you have like a credit union, or I don't know about a credit union, but the smaller regional banks like First Republic, there's like a whole list of them online that are probably going to be going towards not bankruptcy, but they're going to be going through a lot of issues. I think SVB is the only bank that's really going through bankruptcy because they pretty much went under already. Yeah, not hometown banks, regional banks, Kenny. Hometown banks are different. Because the thing with the hometown banks is that not a lot of people have a lot of money in them, right? If you're in a credit union, they're all like FDIC insured. So, I mean, unless you have like, over 200K in the bank, that's where you're going to have issues, but they're all insured. So if those banks do go under, you'll have your money's protected. I'm talking about regional banks. So like banks that are in regions, not like in your city, but in like an actual region. I think First Republic's like one of the banks that's like in the, there's a list of them on here. I don't know where they are anymore, but let me see. All right, so I just Googled it right here. Regional banks that are in trouble. So basically, like First Republic is one of them. It's not a hometown bank, but it's a regional bank because they have them in regions, but they're not national. Like they're not everywhere. They're just in certain regions. Yeah, so if you just look it up, Kenny, like right here, it says none of the big four banks, Bank of America, Citibank, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo have commented publicly on like, what the issue is, but I don't think they're going to be affected, at least not yet. See back to the charts right here. Damn, I missed this one right here. So there was an entry right here that came up, guys. I missed it because there was a high low in between, but it just, damn, that would have been a good entry too. What happened with this entry here is that there was a high low in between that I noticed that was right here, but since this candle broke and closed past it, the high low was invalidated and it provided an entry. I don't know if anybody caught it, but yeah, there was an entry that was right there, Jacob. Christian actually caught it. So nice for a Christian. Yeah, Roland said everyone's waiting for FOMC, low volume, it'll range till then. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what we anticipated too, same thing. So market just keeps ranging, but yeah, there was an entry that came up right here. It came up like really quickly. I wasn't able to identify it. Nice. Looks like a lot of you guys here caught it. So Kevin caught it, Patrick caught it, Dejan caught it, Christian caught it, Satim caught it. So if you guys got it, great work, guys. It's not going to count as any of the entries because obviously I wasn't able to take it. I only count the trades that I take. So this one right here, I wasn't able to take it. I was looking at these articles over here for Kenny, so I just missed it. So I'm going to stay on the charts, guys. And then I'm just going to make sure I don't miss the next one. See, Aiden said, I got in, but her MT4 is lagging, entered her late with my TP above price, still in. Yeah. Yeah, the market's just, you're getting these random spikes, but they're not consistent volatility. You can see here, the market is now just frozen or flat. Not really too much going on. We do have a lower low right here though. So if price does push up with a buy signal, it's technically going to be an entry for a buy there. Yeah, so Aiden, I'm not surprised that happened to you because the spike happened so fast that there's going to be a lot of slippage. So it looks like you got caught in slippage because your MT4 lagged for the entry. Yeah, just be careful when taking these types of entries here, because for this one right here, if you didn't get in at proper timing, like if you got in like late and your entry came like below entry, then you'd be stuck in the position, right? So guys, just be careful with these entries. What you have to do is you have to look at TradingView, because your MT4 is not going to be as fast as the YM data right here, right? So what you need to do is if your TP hits on TradingView, you got to pull out. Even if it's for a small loss, you just got to pull out, because it's not going to be it's not going to end well if you end up like holding on for something for too long. I know it's going to suck, but you just got to be quick with these movements here, because these movements are happening too quickly. You can see how these candles are spiking. Like these candles here, they're not really moving very smoothly. They're like blocky movements. Like you'll see price down here, and then 1 second later, price is going to be like way up here. So this is a possible entry for a buy if the candle does close. There's a lower low right here. Bullish buy signal right there. Let's see if it actually closes. Yeah, man, this thing happened too late. I wasn't able to get in. Let me see if I get in for late entry. I'm going to put a buy stop right there to fill my order if it comes up. So I'm putting a buy stop over there, also setting an alert. I don't really like this market today. Because I was waiting for it to close, and then as soon as it closed, it pulled down. Okay, it filled my entry. Pushing up. I'm just watching it because if it hits on my trading view, I'm just going to close out manually because the slippage here is just, it's crazy right now. All right, so I'm watching. I'm in this position here. Volatility is starting to pick up a bit. But yeah, we are still in a ranging market though. It's in profit right now. Profit about 300. Just bouncing around. All right, I'm just going to leave it alone. If it pushes up though, I'm going to pull out manually. So if it pushes up and hits my TP here on trading view, I'm going to pull out manually because it's just the way that the market's currently moving. I don't want to be stuck in the position after it hits TP. Yeah, Jacob said we kind of need it to make a triple top in order for it to hit TP. Yeah, the market is still technically ranging right now, but the volatility is picking up a little bit. Let's see, question from Jalon. Jalon said, I know you're not trading gold right now, but do you see potential pump in gold? Yeah, I do. Later today for FOMC, I could see a pump in gold because it's directly affected with the interest rates, right? So I do see gold being affected just as any other US asset due to FOMC later today. I mean, you might not see it right now, but you might like tomorrow. A pump up because the US dollar is going to be weak. So, all right, guys, I'm still watching right now. I'm profit about 500 right now. It's pushing up to TP, pushing up higher. So guys, if you see the alert here where it says full TP on trading view, I'm going to pull out. I'm just going to let you guys know ahead of time because the market is too volatile right now. Well, it's not too volatile, but it's blocky right now. It's a blocky movement. So the last thing I want to do is for it to hit TP and I get stuck in the position because of slippage or because of the spread. So if you guys see the alert on my screen, I'm going to manually pull out of this position. Just so that you guys are aware. That's why I put the alert there. So if it does happen, I can just click my close button here. Or Jacob said he closed out of it. Right. So guys, if you guys are not comfortable with the position, you guys can pull out now if you like. Yeah, Satyam as well. He said he's out. A win is a win. Yeah, he just took his profit on that. The market is just too blocky right now. I'm probably gonna pull out early too as well. The price is pushing up to right there. Nice. Jacob got 70 pips on that. Solid. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Little TP. There you go. Hit my TP, guys. I gotta get out of that trade, man. That trade is stressing me out. So it hit TP. I mean, we weren't really in drawdown at all, but it spiked up and it pulled me out. I was looking at my MC4 and I got the alert right here, and it just spiked up, hit my TP, and I was like, okay, perfect. Ah, God, that was freaking kind of stressful because, and I got slippage. I got screwed on it too. Yeah, 910 on that. All right, so price blasted through TP, but slippage only gave me 910 off that trade. It's all good. And I didn't get the green strip, man. Whack. I didn't even close out of it early. It's all good. So a win's a win, guys. If you guys got in for partial profit, fine. But I mean, it still hit TP. So if you guys held on to it, I let it hit my TP, but due to slippage, it looks like it just pulled me out for like slightly less profit. I was supposed to lock in 1,000 off it, locked in 910, but you know, like Satyam said, a win is a win. Take the profit and run, guys. There's no need to get greedy today. The market is not really on our side. It seems like it's very choppy. So And I'm not used to holding on to these positions for that long. This position ran for like 4 or 5 minutes. Typically, these trades hit within like the first candle, right? So this is why it's kind of like throwing us off, because the volatility right now is not the best, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. Today's not the day to get greedy. If you guys are okay with your positions, great. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to screenshot because I did take a trade last night. I want to be fully transparent with you guys, but I'm only going to screenshot the trade that I took this morning, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm taking like all these trades during Asia session. Because what happened in the past is I was posting my Asia profits, and then people are getting super upset because I was trading Asia, because they wanted they wanted to take more trades, right? So I don't want you guys to get greedy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to screenshot my profits from this live session, because I don't want you guys to get ideas to trade during Asia session. I know because I'm making profit during Asia session that you guys think that it's okay to trade during Asia, but personally it's not. I don't even know why I trade during Asia sometimes. I get greedy myself. So just want to give you guys a heads up here that you guys should probably not trade during Asia. I did make profit, but I'm not going to share with you guys because I don't want you guys to feel the need to trade Asia. All right, so I want to stick to live session trades only for my profits that I post up, because those are the only ones that I document. I'm not documenting like other trades because I don't want you guys. Another thing that I get is people get mad because they say that I'm making most of my profit outside the live session, but realistically, I'm not. I'm like barely making anything, or I'm also losing during Asia sometimes. But I get FOMO just like you guys, no different. All right, let's get all my accounts here. There's no other entries for us to take right now, so it's all right. Yeah, so just a disclaimer, guys. I usually don't do well during Asia. I do either like slightly profitable, but I don't necessarily make enough to make it worthwhile. I'm more stressed out during Asia than I am during during any other trading session. My MFF gave me a lot of slippage, like a lot of slippage. I don't know if you guys took the trade on your MFF, but I'm just looking at my profits right now. And I got you guys are going to see right now. Oh, actually, my lot size was off. What the fuck? That's weird. All right, I got to use fixed lot sizing. So what happened was, you guys will see right now. That was my bad then. It wasn't MFF's fault. So I'm not going to put any blame on them. Or it might have been my copier's fault. I don't know. All right, I got to fix my copier. Where's my copier at? So I got my payout on my MFF, and then I think I end up screwing up the. No, that should be right. Number one. All right, so there's no entries right now, guys. Don't worry, we're not missing anything. But anyways, here are my profits. Here's my main account. This is my FTMO. I locked in 910. You guys can kind of see. I was trying to block out all the profit right here, but you can see I made a little more during Asia session. So I made 910 during just for that one trade. I made 710 off my FTMO copier. Made 650 off my MFF. A lot of slippage right there. 650 off my other slippage right there as well. And then here's my MFF number 3. I don't know what happened to my lot size. It's I got paid out, and I think I messed with my copier, so it's like at 50 right now. I took both of my trades at 50. I only made 295, so it's about the same. I mean, there's still slippage. I was supposed to make 1,000 on this trade because I let it hit TP, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is. Let me see if I could. I need to see what's wrong with that. Okay, never mind. That was my bad. What happened was MFF gave me a new account. And then I accidentally put, okay, that was my bad. Okay, it's not the copier's fault or MFF, it was my bad. Well, MFF still kind of screwed me with the slippage, but I put the wrong max lot size for my MFF. All right, whatever. The next trade's gonna be better. So yeah, I mean the trade was solid. The entry right there, I hit full TP, I let it run. I got some slippage, but it's all good. Not a huge deal. So there's no entries right now, guys. We're looking for a sell signal now. So we currently have a higher high. We're looking for a sell signal to break and close below the pivots. But there's no entry for us right now. So we're just looking for that sell signal to come up. As we wait for that, I'll go ahead and take a look at everyone else's profits from that last trade that we just took. All right, so scrolling up real quick. See, so Patrick over here took a loss on it. The entry didn't play out for him. It's all good. He bounced back on this next trade over here, and total profit of 600, total profit of 850, small loss of 680. So you just need one more trade, Patrick. Let's try to get you that one last trade so that you can balance your account back into positive. So we just need one trade there. Actually, you already did it yourself. So Patrick over here actually took the last buy that we just took. He took the sell earlier, and then he took the buy that we just took right now. They hit full TP. He's now in profit 180. So nice recovery right there, Patrick. Sorry about the earlier loss. Looks like you took that earlier trade that we were kind of testing to see if it'd play out, and you got caught up in it. Kenny over here currently up 1,870. Great work, Kenny. So yeah, no, thanks for the transparency, Patrick. So you guys can see here, I didn't take that first entry, but Patrick took it. He ate a loss on that one, unfortunately. That was one that we were testing to see if it was a criteria that we needed to incorporate. He took the next sell right here. He hit his TP, and then he took that last buy that we took for another TP, total profit of 180. So you guys can see a negative risk toward is fine as long as you guys know how to properly enter the trades. So it's all good. It happens. So great work right there. Here's Christian. He said recovering from that loss. So Christian over here, unfortunately, took a small loss on that last trade, but then he made the wins on the last two. So the first trade, that was a sell. He took a loss, but then he took the other sell, win, and he took the last buy for another win. So he's only down 380. You just need one more trade, Christian, and then you'll be back in profit. All right, scrolling down further. Chow over here as well. So Chow said, unfortunately, he took, so it looks like some of you guys here did take that sell from earlier. It's okay if you guys ate the loss. It's completely fine because on the next one, you guys are going to bounce back. So Chow over here took the first loss off that sell that we were testing out, that like weird trade that we were looking at, took the loss, took the trade after, and then he made another 1,000 right there. So he pretty much minimized his loss. He's down only negative 2,000. So you just need two more trades or maybe 1.5, and you'll be back in profit, Chow. So all good. Dejan over here as well. So Dejan said, took the L on the first trade, then he took the last two trades, and then he bounced right back. So he took that first loss, just like a lot of other people, took these other three trades here, and then he's now back in profit, 25. Nice work, Dejan. So great work, guys, with that recovery. You know, a loss like that could really affect somebody, but for you guys here, since you guys are really confident with your entries and with these entries that we're taking on the live, you guys are able to bounce back pretty quickly. So yeah, let's aim for like maybe one or two more wins, guys. Hopefully one of those two wins will bounce everybody back into full profit. And then we'll go from there. So Jacob over here, total profit of 1,335 for the day. Nice work, Jacob. Took that buy that we took together and hit his full TP on there. 1,335. We have Eunice over here, total profit of 354. Nice work, Eunice. We have Maria over here. Maria's asking which one does she need. That is the correct one, Maria. CME group. Yeah. That one, CME group. Yeah, no problem, Maria. Patricia over here as well. Patricia said a little more. So here's Patricia's earlier profits pre-market. She locked in a total profit of 4,320. And then she locked in a bit more over here, total profit of 5,450, guys. So nice profit right there, Patricia. Great work. And then we have David over here, total profit of 1,720 for the day. Yeah, no, definitely, David. David said nothing fancy, but since I applied your strategy 3 days in a row, I only got wins. Thanks, Sean. Definitely, David. So David's only been applying this strategy for the past 3 days. He's had nothing but wins. So great work right there, David. All right, guys. So back to the chart. There's no entries for us right now. So don't worry, you guys are not missing out on anything. Just got to sit tight and see how the market moves. If the market continues to move volatile, then we'll stay on the market. We'll stay on the session until like maybe 9, if possible. But if it starts to die down a little bit, we might just call it a day at 8. So I'll try to hang on here with you guys for as long as possible until market starts to die down again. All right, so we got another higher high right here, guys. We're identifying the top. If we get a momentum signal that breaks and closes past the pivots over here, possible entry for a sell. Nice. Yeah, Jacob said he did 178 lots on that trade. He was feeling it. Yeah, no, it felt like a good trade too, Jacob. It did take a while though, right, for that buy. Typically, it hits our TP within the first 2 candles or so. This one took maybe 4 or 5 candles, but it did eventually hit. There was no drawdown there. It stayed up in profit pretty much the entire time. So that's why I had confidence in the trade as well, why I left it. Dijon said he's got to use that $25 on McDonald's with this inflation. Exactly right. Yeah, Patrick said it's all good. I'm actually happy that it was the first one that hit stop loss because it'll keep me from trusting that kind of entry in the future. It was a good loss. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. It was a sacrificial loss, right? We had to know if that setup was a good one or not. So now that we know that it's not a good one, where it becomes a bit iffy, in the future we'll know to skip that one. So definitely. Yeah, CJ said, I know what you mean about Asia session, Sean. I wouldn't call it FOMO, but it's something about it that I want to conquer and understand the way I understand other sessions. And I agree with you too, CJ. So sometimes I just get FOMO. Well, not really FOMO, but I feel the need to trade during Asia, even though I know it's not a good time to trade. So yeah, that's why sometimes I try to avoid it for the most part. Yeah, sure, Jacob. You can send me some looms after. Jacob said, yeah, sure. Max on FT was 100 lots though. So I see. Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. They're they're on the safer side of things. Yeah, Kel said even if you were trading outside of normal hours, people have to remember trading is a solo game. I know it really is, but it's hard for people to understand that, right? Because a lot of people depend on me to like do analysis and stuff like that. Like the reason I don't send profits of Asia session is because people keep asking me to trade live during Asia, and I don't want to trade live during Asia because the market's so slow. Like when I do trade during Asia, it's like because I see it myself. Like I'm looking at the charts and I'm like, okay, this looks like a good entry. I don't have a set time where I can trade with you guys. Like for here, I can trade with you guys from 6:30 to 8 or 6:30 to 9. And then it's fine because we know volatility is going to be up during that time, right? I can't trade during Asia because like sometimes it's volatile like during 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, and we don't really have a set time. The last thing I want to do is be on Asia session with you guys every day. And then we just sit there for an hour and there's nothing for us to take. So that's it's definitely not something I want to do. Like I trade for time freedom. I don't even trade for like financial freedom anymore because it just, the money comes regardless. Trading is like an escape for me to be time free. So I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I just got to trade from like 6:30 to 8 or 6:30 to 9. And then I have the rest of the day to myself. So yeah, I don't really plan on trading Asia session. I always wanted to and always want to sometimes, but doesn't really meet my goals in mind. All right, there's a possible sell entry right here, guys, if this ends up closing. It's got 30 seconds left on it, but you guys have to actually wait for this here to close, guys. So it has to close below the pivot and it has to close with the sell signal. So don't just enter for whatever reason. You have to make sure that it actually closes properly, right? Got about 15 seconds left on it. If it closes like too close to the line, don't take it, guys. It has to be a for sure entry. Like you don't want to have any maybe entries. You want to make sure that it's for sure an entry. Ah, damn, this thing closed too late. It's like literally on the line. Or let me see. Set an alert right there. Let's put a full TP hit. I'm gonna put the strategy because you guys already know what it is. Yeah, this is kind of what I was saying earlier. Like it's got to be for sure. This right here wasn't a for sure entry because it was like on the line. Like whenever you have the entry, you want it to be like definitely below it or have it like clear enough where you don't have to like worry about it. This one right here, it's like really like literally on the line. Let me just go back and replay. I want to see what it closed like. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell if it was valid or not because it was like right on the line. Yeah, Maria said she skipped it. Eunice said he skipped it. Dijon skipped it. Yeah, probably best decision to skip it, guys, because whenever you guys take these entries, you want to be sure that it's a valid entry. You don't want to be like a maybe where you're like, okay, does it close below or does it close above? Right, Martha skipped it too. It's all good. Yeah, back to what Kel was saying. Frederick said too frank, huh? Yeah, Frederick said exactly, Kel. I don't understand how people get mad at Sean for trading on his own accounts, but anyways, it's not on me. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not any of you guys. It's just certain people that just they want everything like spoon fed, which it is what it is. Hey Brock, how's it going? Morning. Got to see you back in here. Let's see. Satyam said he got in for partial profit. Solid. So I just marked it up for you guys here to follow it. I was thinking about following into it, but I probably shouldn't. Looking at a drop from where it's currently at. Question from Terrence. Terrence is asking quick tip for new people. There's a lot of tips I can give you, Terrence. I mean, it depends like what's your problem with trading, or do you have any problem with trading? Like if you can tell me your problem, I got a ton of tips for you. So like whatever you if your problem is over trading, revenge trading, inconsistency. I mean, if you have something that you're like having an issue with, I've been trading for a long time, so I've ran into all the issues and I've helped a lot of people get over those issues as well. So if there's something specific that that you're having a problem with, you can let me know and I can give you tips on that. Tips in general, I don't know what I can necessarily give you, but because there's a lot of things, like there's a lot of tips I can give you, right? Follow your trading rules, stick to a set of trading hours, set to a specific asset. I think that's like one thing that a lot of people kind of mess up with is like they try to trade so many things at once, especially when people get into Forex. There's like so many assets to trade that that people they just end up not being good at anything, right? I was the same way. I traded like if you guys saw my watch list from before, like when I first started trading, I had like almost like 30 assets on there and not all of them are good. Now I just trade US30 and that's pretty much it. Just watching price to see where it's going right here. Have the alert set up. Let's see. Terrence said to learn how he means. Well, tips on learning how to trade is I would recommend figuring out what your trading style is, right? Like for me, if you're new to here or if you're new to trading in general, I'm a scalper and I'm a day trader. So not a lot of people trade this way. I've been trading this way for a long time. A lot of people started trading this way recently because they started to understand how the market's been moving lately for the past couple of years. But I've been scalping and day trading for like I'd say like over 10 years now. So I kind of like figured out how it works, how these patterns play out, and how to identify entries. So what I would recommend as a new trader is figure out your style of trading. There's like three main ways of trading. There's day trading, there's intraday trading, and there's swing trading. So I think once you figure out which one you like the most, then you can go deeper, because you want to learn from somebody that's trading the way that you like. Like I wouldn't recommend anybody that wants to swing trade to learn from me. I know how to swing trade, but it's not something that I specialize in or something that I'm really good at. I just don't have the patience to hold on to a trade for like, days or weeks or months. I like to be in and out within minutes. I don't like holding a trade more than a day or even more than a few minutes. So if you want to scalp and day trade, I can help you with that because that's what I'm good at. Like there's a lot of traders out there who try to act like they know how to do everything, right? Realistically, it's not true. Like not everybody can trade every single type of style. So first and foremost, I'd recommend that you figure out what your trading style is. Are you a day trader? Are you an intraday trader? Are you a swing trader? And then from there, figure out someone that's good at trading your style and then learn from them. It's like a shortcut because like for me, I never had a mentor, so I had to learn how to trade myself. But a lot of people here in the community, I'm mentoring a lot of people here and they want to day trade. So it just goes hand in hand because you're finding someone that actually knows how to day trade. So yeah, Terrence, I think first step for you would probably be figuring out your trading style. And then from there, finding somebody who's really good at trading that type of style and then learn from them. But also take that information with a grain of salt, right? Because like for me, I learned everything through YouTube and through like different trading forums. And probably like 99% of the people that I try to learn from didn't even know what they're doing. So make sure that you learn from someone that actually knows what they're doing. And the best way to learn from them to understand if they really know what they're doing is to watch them trade live. Like for me, I've been trading live for like 5 or 7 years now on YouTube. So you can go back and watch all my videos and the transparency is there because it shows that I actually know what I'm doing. I'm not just like getting lucky every here and there. So yeah, soak up the knowledge, but don't necessarily believe everything that you see online because not everybody is really that knowledgeable. Man, this trade's running forever, guys. I don't know if anybody's in this position. I was getting a FOMO into it, but I'm glad I didn't because this thing's been running for too long. This trade started right here. So now it's been running for about 8 minutes now. It's a long time for a scalp. So these trades typically hit within the first minute or two. Yeah, Jacob said, I took it on a half lot size. Trade already hit TP. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, Jacob said it hit TP for him. So he probably got in at a better entry point, which is fine. Oh, duh, because the TP stop loss is wrong. Sorry, guys. My bad. Yeah, the TP actually already hit, guys. I don't know if anyone was in it, but the TP did hit like earlier. It was just the spread was too wide, and I had my TP stop loss set wrong. It was like a pip off. So yeah, I don't know if anybody was in that position, but if you guys were in the position, you should probably pull out by now. That was my mistake. I had this set to 110 pips, not 100 pips. So yeah, if you guys are in it, pull out and profit if you can, because the trade's technically done by now. This market sucks, guys. It's not like how I was expecting, because I thought it was gonna be volatile because of the Fed day, but it just kind of dies down. Like it'll be volatile for like maybe a few minutes and then it'll just die down. Like that last trade that we were in earlier, that trade was running for like over 10 minutes. And for a scalp, you typically want to hit that trade within like at least 5 minutes. I think anything after 5 is kind of pushing it. So thanks, Jacob, for the heads up right there. I don't know if anyone took it. Did anybody take that trade? If you guys took it, I'll mark it up. Looks like Patricia took it here. Total profit of 6,350. She took that sell right there. She took a couple of them actually. So nice work, Patricia. with taking that sell right there. Jacob over here, you took it for a half lot size. Jacob said, I thought I took a half lot size, but I didn't, but it went out. Yeah. So Jacob over here actually took the trade, total profit of 623 on that trade, total profit of 1,958 for the day. So nice work, Jacob. Chow over here took the trade as well. So he said he took it, but then he backed out. Total profit on Chow's side is 410 off that specific trade. He's slowly clawing his way back up in a profit, which is perfect right here. That's exactly how it should be done. So great work right there, Chow. Just a couple more wins. I think like 1.5 more wins and you're back in a profit. So solid recovery right there. Just stay consistent and just make sure you stick to the game plan, right? Don't take anything that you shouldn't be taking. Just keep that in mind when looking for entries here. Here are Alana's profits. She said Monday and this morning, going to shut it down for now since it's slow. Come back later today. So Alana over here is currently up, or she was up yesterday, 187, or sorry, not 187, 725. And then she had another one over here, total profit of 450 for the day. So solid work right there, Alana. Smart. Yeah, the volatility right now is just not it, guys. It's just moving too slow. So the trade here hit like earlier today. I mean, if you guys are still in the position, you should pull out right now at this point because it's probably in profit at the moment. So I accidentally got into this. Well, I didn't accidentally got into it. When price was kind of bouncing around right here, guys, I put a sell stop right there because I wanted to catch on its way back down until Jacob over here told me that it hit TP already. So what happened is it filled and then I just pulled out for a small profit, 150. It's nothing. Yeah, I just pulled out of that trade. Because I had my sell stop already waiting there for when price was above and negative. But when Jacob mentioned that it was hit TP already, I forgot to close it. But now that it pushed down in a profit, I just closed it manually. I just made 150. It was nothing. It's basically break even at that point. Luckily, I got out because I would have been stuck in the position right here. I got to stop doing that. Sometimes, like if I enter the trade late, I put a sell stop right there. I put a stop entry so that when it comes down, it fills it. And I was talking to you guys, so I wasn't looking at my MC4 and it filled it and I just pulled out manually because I didn't want to be stuck in it. So it just gave me $100. So I'll just mark this up here so that you guys can see. But I think today's market, guys, is just not a good market to trade in right now. It didn't really go into heavy drawdown, but I just don't like the movement because this thing's been going back and forth for a while now. And either way, it would have hit full TP right here. So if you guys held on to it for the entire push, it still would have hit TP regardless. I probably should have just held on to it, but it's all good. I'd rather be safe than sorry on a day like this. So this trade took about, let's see, it barely hit TP there, but technically this thing took like 12 minutes to hit. That's like not right, not for scalp. Yeah, the volatility right now is extremely low for New York session. Oh, man, this is trash with how it's currently moving. It's just frustrating because we've been excited to apply this strategy like all week. And now that we're getting the opportunity to apply it this week, the market's just super slow, which is annoying because it's not supposed to be slow right now. Let me see my account. Let's see. Yeah, I locked in 150 on my FTMO. 150 on my copier. $60 on my MFF. There's like nothing here, guys. It's like so small. $80. Okay, I'll just take a screenshot of my profits and I'll show you guys. Because I did take that trade, but I want to be transparent with you guys that I did pull out early. I didn't hold it for the full move. It was accidental because I wasn't planning on taking it. But when price dropped down, it just automatically filled my sell stop that I had waiting there from earlier. I'll just show you guys. I mean, it's barely anything because I just pulled out. Like as soon as the trade it filled, I just pulled out because I didn't want to get caught in it. All right, here we are back waiting for another entry. I'll give one more shot, guys. If we have one more entry, I'll see if this plays out. If the market starts to pick up a little bit, then okay, great. I'll start looking for some more entries. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to wrap it up for the day. But we'll see if there's one more entry that comes up. I just don't think it's really worth the risk right now. This is crazy. My MFF gave me $1. Wait, what the hell? And okay, I thought I fixed my copier, but I just made it worse. I changed my max lot size to 1 lot. I was confused why he only gave me $1. I'll show you guys right now. I think my mind's just all over the place right now. I kind of screwed up with my copier. I screwed up with that sell stop. I'm just not focused right now. It's all good. It's not the best market to be trading in anyways. All right, so I'll post up my profits real quick. There's my FTMO, TMO number 2, MFF number 1 with my dollar profit, and then both of my MFFs right there. Okay, so we don't have any entries right now, guys. We have a lower low here. So with this lower low, if we get a buy signal that breaks and closes past the pivots up here, then it'll be an entry from there. So here are my profits. You guys can see this is my FTMO account locked in about 1,000 almost on my main account. Here's my FTMO copier locked in 150 off that, total profit of about 900. Here is my MFF. I screwed up. I tried to fix my copier. I ended up setting my max lot size to 1 instead of 100. So I only took a 1 lot. I made $1 off that trade. Here's my MFF number 2, locked in 80 off this one. So a little over 700 for the day. And then here's my MFF number 3, locked in 60. So a little over 700. So let me fix that. My copier. I don't know how I screwed that up, but I did, obviously. Jacob said possible trade incoming right now. Yeah, I see it right there, Jacob. I wonder. All right, I'm just gonna put a fixed lot because this is just. Never mind. Okay, I know what I did wrong. For max lot, I only put I put 1. All right, my copier is good now, or it should be. Jacob said put 178 lot, Sean. Yeah, it's trying to cap me out, right? Because isn't FTMO maxed out at 100? Yeah, it's probably gonna give me an error. Like, what are you doing? You know, I never tried using a bigger lot size on my 400K account earlier. I should have tried it to see if it increased. It probably should have increased to double, but I could be wrong. Might have been capped at 100. All right, guys, it's getting close to 8. You have a lower low right here. If we get a buy signal that breaks and closes above it, it's going to be a buy entry. All right, not yet. Dijon said the way the candle was moving, he thought the market froze. Yeah, the movement right now is not good, guys. So I don't even think I'll take this if it comes up. The market's barely moving. So I could already anticipate that, like, if we do get an entry here, this is gonna I mean, it's like blocky movements. You guys can see how the candles are moving. They're not smooth at all. They're just blocky. So the problem with this is that if market's not moving, you're going to be stuck in this position for like 10 minutes or so, right? It's definitely not the type of market you want to be stuck in, especially with the Fed speaking later at 11 o'clock today. Because the last thing you want to do is market's going to be frozen, not really frozen, but it'll be going sideways. And then when some news happens, it'll just spike price, in one direction or the other. It's just a matter of patience, but my patience can only get tested so much. So another tip that I want to tell you guys is, like, if you guys don't feel comfortable trading, then just call it a day, right? I know our results over here indicate that there's going to be a lot of wins, but a lot of these wins are not going to play out for you because your head's not on right? Like for me personally right now, I'm like not focused at all. As you guys can tell, I'm kind of annoyed because these candles are moving so slow. So I'm not really focused. And the problem with that is that I'm going to be sloppy with my trades. So for me personally, even though I know trades will probably hit, like yesterday, we cut off the session early, right? Like we stopped trading at like 8, and then there was like one more entry that came up right after at 8:37. Like I could have sat on with you guys for like another 30 minutes, but my trade psychology just wasn't on point, so I didn't want to risk it. So yeah, just something to keep in mind, guys. If you guys are not feeling 100% with your trading, like if you're like thinking about 100 different things while you're trading, you should probably not be trading because you're going to make mistakes and you're going to get sloppy. The trades will come. So just keep that in mind. Like the market's not going anywhere. You can take a day off and come back tomorrow and markets will still be there. Because I feel like a lot of people feel the pressure that they need to trade every single day. It's just not, it's not necessary. Because look, here, I'll do the math for you guys real quick. So say, for example, you're doing an FTMO challenge, right? And you got to make 10%. There's 57 wins right here, right? So 57 wins. And basically, if you're applying the strategy with a 10-30 split for each win, so 57 wins, right? Times 0.5%. So this would be 28% win percentage total, right? You need 10% to pass FTMO. This is for every single trade that you take during 6:30 to 9. There's 4 losses, so 4 times was it 1.5%? That's a 6% loss. So if you do the math, 28.5 minus 6, you're still up 22.5%, right? If you took every single trade. So if you didn't take every single trade and you took one day off, maybe you were down like maybe 5% or 6%, say again, like another minus 6, you'd still be up 16%. So you'd still be able to pass your FTMO challenge. So I just want to show you guys that you don't have to trade every single day. If you trade every single day, of course, you're going to make more profit and you're going to have a better opportunity to get your 10%. But if you just take, a couple of these trades a day, like maybe 1 or 2 trades a day, you should be fine enough to still pass your challenge. I don't want you guys to be pressured to pass your challenge just because you want to pass within the first 2 days. And we can do the basic math here too. So you need 10% divided by 0.5%, right? You need 20 trades. 20 trades, and there's 57 trades in the whole month. Like it's not even the whole month yet. We're barely on the 21st. So just keep that in mind, guys. You only need 20 winning trades to win. And right here, we have 57 wins and 4 losses. These 4 losses all came in one day for the most part on March 3rd. So, and this was Fed day, just like today. Today's Fed day. This was Fed day on March 3rd. If you guys would have just skipped Fed day that day, you would have had no losses and you would have had straight wins for the most part. So, yeah, I think I'm going to cut out right now at 8 o'clock, guys, because the market is just not really moving at all. And I'm just not in the proper mindset to trade right now. I'm just kind of like, I'm restless because I want to get into a trade so bad, but then I also don't want to FOMO into anything. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. John said, I'm waiting to get CNBC notification on my phone at 4 p.m. telling me the Dow is down 500 points. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen over there at 11 o'clock. Natasha also mentioned, what if you can only trade 2 days a week? It still doesn't make a difference, Natasha. Then you should be trading those 2 days, right? I mean, you just got to do the basic math with it, Natasha. If you can't trade 5 days and you can only trade 2 days, you got to trade those 2 days, right? You can't be skipping days if you only have 2 days in the week to trade. So you got to trade those 2 days. You're in a different situation. I'm talking about people who trade every single day or feel like they need to trade every single day. Just doing the basic math here, Natasha. Let me go back over here again real quick. Okay, so there's 57 trades or 57 wins, right? Within a 4-week period. So 57, and we'll divide that by 4, right? There's about 14.25 trades a week, right? You divide that by 1 day or by 5 days. It's 5 days in a week. So there's about 2.85 trades per day. So like, for example, you said you could only trade 2 days a week. If you're trading 2 days a week for 4 weeks, you multiply this by 4, you'll still have 11.4 wins out of that time, right? So you do 11.4 wins times half percentage point per trade. You're at 5.7%. If you don't make it to that point, but here's the thing, like not every day is going to be the same. If you make it to the point where you're at like 5% or somewhere above that, FTMO will give you an extension, right? So say, for example, you're in profit, but you're not quite at the 10%. They'll give you an extension for like 14 to 30 days. So you'll have another 14 to 30 days to pass. At that point, you can still pass, but at least you haven't failed your account. If you keep trying to take like 1 million trades a day and you're taking all these random trades, the odds of you blowing your account are very likely, right? Because I've seen your trades before. Your trades are kind of all over the place. You're not really following a specific strategy. You're kind of just taking trades off the fly when you see them. And that equates to you not passing, right? Because you take all these random trades. Some days you'll pass, you'll have a good day. Some days you'll have a bad day. But at the end of the month, you basically fail the account, right? So I think you need to focus on consistency. And if you need to trade 2 days a week, then just trade 2 days a week. But for you, since you're trading 2 days a week, you can trade from like 6:30 to 12 on those days. Because I'm only calculating trades from 6:30 to 9. So if you're trading 2 days a week, Natasha, you can trade from 6:30 to 12. You have more losses, but you'll also have a lot more wins. If you do the math over here from each trading day, if you traded every single day, you'd still, or if you traded 2 days a week, you would still end up in profit because there's more wins than losses here. Like there's substantially more wins. Like for example, yesterday there was 1 loss, but there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 trades, 7 wins, right? So if you were to do the math there and you had 7 trades, that's 700 pips. You have 1 loss, that's minus 300. You're still being profit 400 pips for the day. That's 4,000 profit if you're on a 200K account with 100 lot. Thanks, Jacob. Trade incoming right here. All right, if this here closes, possible buy entry. Does not look like it's going to close. We have about 20 seconds left on this candle. It's invalid. So we'll see. D's asking, does FTMO give a free retry? So they do as long as you're in profit. So if you close out the end of the month and you're in net positive equity, then they'll either give you a free retry or they'll give you an extension. So like say if you're $1 in profit, like say you started a 100K account and then a month goes by and you're like at 101, or you're even a penny in profit, you're 100.01 in profit, they'll give you a free retry. So as long as you're net positive, if you're like heavily in profit, like 5% or more, they'll probably give you an extension. So you don't have to start over. Yeah. So, I mean, there's no rush, guys. You guys don't have to pass your challenge within like 2 days, or 1 day. I see a lot of people try to go for these YOLO trades and they try to pass in 1 day. They just blow their account all in one go. It's not necessary. All right, guys, it's past 8 o'clock. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat and then, I can answer whatever you guys need help with. The market volatility right now is just too low. It's not really my type of market that I want to trade in. Typically when I take these scalps, I want my trades to hit within, the first minute or two. But these trades lately have just been going back and forth. They've been taking like about 10 minutes for them to hit. I'm okay with my profit so far, so I'm not really looking to risk anything. At this point, I'm already up like about 1,000 on this account, close to 1,000 across the other ones, but not at that level. So let me scroll down real quick. So Patrick over here, nice work, Patrick. He recovered his account. He took that loss earlier, took a couple wins here. Total profit of 640 for the day. Great recovery right there, Patrick. Yeah, Jacob said that's whack, the dollar. Christian here, back in profit as well. Nice work, Christian. So it looks like everybody here who was in negative earlier, or not everybody, but a lot of the people here, they made their profits back. So Christian over here was negative from that first loss this morning. He lost 1,500 on the first trade, made 480 on the next one, 500 on the next one, 630 on this most recent one. Total profit of 100 for the day. So profit's profit, guys. And nice work right there, Christian, with your recovery back into profit. Natasha said, I don't know if I can pass the challenge trading only 2 days. Yeah, because I know you're kind of busy, Natasha. You could still, so what you can do, Natasha, is you can just increase your lot size. You don't have to take as low of a risk as I am. So what you could do is, instead of doing you'll still do a 1 to 3, but you'll increase your lot size. So like for me, my calculations here are only by doing a 1 point or doing a 0.5% win, right? For you, you can probably do a 1%. But if you lose a trade, then you're pretty much done for the day. So you could probably go up to a 4% risk with a, let me see. So 3 divided by 4. Yeah, you go for a 75% risk. So if you need to do that, so 10 divided by 0.75, you only need 13 wins to pass your challenge to get 10%. So you just need to increase your risk at that point. Because yeah, I mean, at that point, you just got to increase your lot size. It's going to be riskier, but you only have 2 days to trade. So you just got to increase that so you can make more profits faster. Yeah, I know it's tough, Jacob. Jacob said, yeah, but the problem with her is that she's like, you know, her situation is not necessarily, it's not ideal. Trading 2 days a week, scalping is not exactly the best way to trade. Jacob said, dog in the back. Kodi, yeah, that's Kodi right there. He's let me see if I can see him on my screen. He's knocked out on the bed, but Kai's like literally right here, right next to me. I don't think you can see him. Okay. Yeah, they're both knocked out. You're waiting for their walk. Yeah, that's Kodi. He woke up for a second. Let me see if there's anything else over here that I'm missing. All right, Patrick over here, now in profit. So Patrick said definitely was sweating on that last trade, held it for the full move. Jesus, Sean, somebody take the wheel. Yeah, so Patrick over here actually held that last sell for a full TP, total profit of 2,000 on that one. Nice work, Patrick. Yeah, no, I knew the trade was going to hit. It just took a long time. But yeah, he held it. That was the last one that we just took, guys. This one over here, where I pulled out early. I only made 150, but Patrick over here held it for the entire move, locked in 2,000 on that trade. Barack over here said rough day, negative 48. Yeah, it's not bad. At least it's only 48, Barack. You have one more trade and you'll make it right back. Nice. Alana actually took that sell that we just took as well. So Alana said she made 725 for that trade. Now up 187 for the day. Yeah, solid, Alana. All right, guys. So I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to email me. You can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, or you guys can message me on Telegram at KodiKaiTrades. Again, if you guys are new here and you guys want to sit in on any of these live sessions, just go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/KodiKaiTrades. Click on subscribe and turn on notifications down here. And that way YouTube will message you every time I go live. I go live 5 times a week for the live sessions and then once a week for the mentoring sessions. And it's all completely free. If you guys want access to the strategies, go on the website, KodiKaiTrades.com, click on unlock your free access, and then you'll have access to the course right here with all of my strategies. So, all right, guys, if you guys want to continue trading, I would recommend probably stop trading when it gets closer to 11. Remember that today is Fed day, so Powell's going to be speaking. And the market's going to start moving a bit crazy around 11 o'clock. So I would probably just sit out the market, guys, for today. I know like our results over here indicate that there's probably more entries coming, but it's not worth the risk, in my opinion. If you guys want to trade, feel free, but you probably want to lower your lot size or just stop trading. So. See. Yeah, we'll talk in the think tank, guys. All right, guys. So other than that, have a great rest of your day, guys. And if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow for the next live session. For tomorrow, we have unemployment claims at 5:30 a.m. pre-market. So I think we'll have some volatility, which will be good as we enter, our actual trading session. So, all right, guys. Other than that,